Kurt and I just had our expectations for a foam trainer completely reset today, and we're going to jump right into the 5x5 review and explain why.
Let's do.
All right, Kurt, build as advertised, 4 out of 5. You're the one that built this, so talk it up.
This is an RXR version that we had. I think they make it an RTF and an RXR. We get the RXR, so what we had to do is put our receiver in there, make a couple adjustments, you know, set things up, and off you go. And it was straightforward, very well illustrated. The instructions were easy. You're always going to want to make sure all of your fasteners, your linkage fasteners are tight and stuff. But it was a very quick, easy assembly, a trainer level assembly. And one of the things they didn't stress, which I'll stress just because I noticed on ours, the nose wheel is, you know, same servo handles the rudder like on a typical plane. Yeah. Steerable nose wheel and the rudder. Make sure that both sides of your linkage are tightened down. Yeah. The one's kind of hard to see. If you build it from the one side, you actually don't see the linkage like I did at first. So make sure you get your linkage tight there. The only thing that deviates from or isn't mentioned in the instructions, which I had a problem with, was the wing saddle, the clip on the top. There's 2 holes or 2 plugs that go down through on a common bracket that hold the wing in place with 2 wing bolts. And the idea of the holes in the wing, your wing saddle itself, I guess the actual structural saddle, is plastic. You've got 2 plywood pieces inside of the wing built in for strength. When you slip them together, there's 2 halves of the wing together on top of that joiner with the wing joiner with the spar all together. There's a lot of pieces going on there. Those holes have to line up absolutely perfectly to get that top clip in place, because the OD of that top clip, each of those is 3/8. I had to take a 3/8 inch drill bit, run it down through both of those holes with my wing held tightly together, run it down through both of those holes, and then my clip could go in. Yeah. Prior to that, it wasn't going together, no matter how much I pushed, tugged, twisted. So if you have that problem, it's no big deal. Just take a 3/8 inch drill bit,
clean it out a little bit.
Make sure your wings are tight together first. You don't want them loose at all, and just clean out those holes, and it'll fit right in there.
You gave it a 4 out of 5 on the finish.
Yeah, it's a foam, so you're only going to get so good on the finish from a looks perspective, but it's attractive, you know. In the air, it's
got a good line. It's good,
the decals with the white, and people say, well, it's a white, you know, white plane. You think white against the white sky, the blue sky, very visible, extremely visible. So the trim scheme is good for trainer visibility. Nice finish.
Why don't you go do the rest of them down?
You bailed out after the first 2.
Well, really power, ground handling, that's all part of the flight. You're darn right I do. This was a nice flying plane. So get with it.
Power, we gave it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5, without a doubt. I don't know exactly what size a brushless outrunner comes with this, but it is aptly suited for this plane. For a trainer, it would scoot along. When you give it full power, it would move right along. Plenty of authority when you needed to pull yourself out of a situation where you might stall. Yep. Not so much so that you're going to feel a tremendous amount of torque roll with it.
No, not at all.
Very smooth transition from idle or, say, half throttle to full throttle. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was definitely powered well for this plane. I don't really, to be honest with you, think as for a trainer you would want anything less or more.
I don't think it could be any less perfect than what this Powerplant is for this.
Perfectly suited for it. Perfectly.
All right, power, ground handling, 5 out of 5.
Yes, it was like it drove like it was on rails. It really did. All through takeoff, you're not correct and you're not worrying about anything except pulling back when you want it to go airborne, and that's a good feeling, especially for someone just learning how to fly. You get a plane that doesn't handle good on the ground, and that's one more aspect that they're fighting, and they don't know why they're fighting it.
This is a perfect flight trainer and a perfect ground handling, takeoff and landing.
And it'll turn on a dime. It will turn on itself very easily.
In fact, on the page, I'm going to post down below, so take a look at the web page on this review, our radio mixes, because you commented on how this thing was set up.
Yes.
I actually dropped, for a trainer, for somebody new to flying, we can get flight characteristics or the pilot experience, but for somebody new to flying, they don't want to mess around with high rates and low rates if they don't have to. Yeah. The less switching you do on the radio, the better, right?
Sure.
Just on the sticks. And I dialed in some expos. It was just kind of like a crapshoot, like, this should be pretty good, this should be pretty good on the expos. Kind of doing my own thing a little bit. Normally not recommended, but in this case, I'll tell you what, on the nose.
Oh, man, it was perfect.
The rudder was just right. The elevator was just right. The aileron was just right. It was never felt like it was out of control or too
when you wanted a little aileron, you got a little aileron. Yep. You know, and that's what's so nice about the expos. When you hammered that aileron left to right, you got it. Yeah. And you got it right now, but you didn't have to get into it. It wasn't twitchy. It took all the twitchiness out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So check out those expo settings. You can probably translate this about any radio you have.
I would imagine,
It's spectrum is positive or negative versus positive, so you want to make sure you get it the right way, but I'll explain that on the page. Durability, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's definitely built rock solid. The landing gear is perfect. You don't get any spring like you would with some trainers.
Yep.
Sometimes I think they get a little too weak in the landing gear, and that's just to be able to take some of those abusive landings. And, you know, we bounced a couple of times on these, and it wasn't a bounce that just threw you back in the air like a lot of them do.
No, with it being stiff, it didn't hop you.
It squatted just a little bit when it needed to, but it didn't pop you around. So I was very impressed with it.
And the EPO foam's going to handle any nose overs and stuff like that you do.
Sure it is, yeah.
So, all right, now onto the pilot experience.
This is where it gets exciting.
And the model
and you can
characteristics,
chime in on this. I'll let you chime. We'll do this together.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Must be my birthday.
It must be, because we both just absolutely love this plane. No
it
doubt.
was, it's a trainer, but how can you have so much fun and grin so much over a trainer?
Yeah.
Because to me, we're in this for the hobbyists, very much for the hobbyists.
Sure.
And I say that almost a little pensively because, you know, yes, we have Two Brothers Hobby and there's all the stuff that goes along with it, but ultimately we did this for the hobbyists because we were the hobbyists. And when you see something like this introduced to the market, this is going to bring so many new pilots. Great first experience.
Yep.
It's going to carry them right through to bigger low-wing planes, mid-wing planes, aerobatics, whatever. It's just that fantastic addition to the industry. So
it is.
That excites the heck out of us. So, Flight As Advertised, 5 out of 5.
5, without a doubt.
5 out of 5.
I can't sit here and tell you one single thing that is wrong with this plane.
I'm going to have you talk about 3 specific things.
Go ahead.
Stall brake.
Stall brake was a non-event, and when I say that, we did it in a couple different ways. One was just your traditional stall, get yourself up a couple mistakes high, and you start backing power off and giving her up elevator until it just doesn't want to fly anymore. All it did was drop the nose, and gently drop the nose, gently so. I mean, to where it was a couple of feet and you were back flying again. As soon as the air got over the wings, it was done.
Yep.
It was done.
Yeah, and we actually did it the first time, just playing around. I said, oh, what's it going to do? What happens when I try to hang on the prop?
Yeah.
And it just went, and the tail always comes up on you. When it breaks, it just always comes up on you.
Yeah, because we took off and did a climb.
Yep. Well, you did a power on
stall.
And you did power off stall.
Yes.
Both brakes were not eventful there.
Not even an
And the last thing I want you to talk about is on landing and on landing recovery.
Yes.
Tip stalls.
Tip stalling, there is no tip stalling that I experienced whatsoever. I felt no tendency for it to want to rock left or right. Now that's coming in pretty slow. I mean, this thing will creep into for a landing. You can give it a slight nose up and just bring it in, and it just slowly mushes its way down to the ground, and you hang it at whatever height you want until you decide, okay, I can land this thing.
I
mean, as dumb as that sounds, I can let off the power and let it touch down.
It'll stay 6 inches off the ground.
It's ridiculous, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, it throws you off the first time because it just is a complete departure from even high wings, normally they land good anyhow.
If you had to write a definition for a trainer and you had to list all its flight characteristics, this plane hits them on the mark.
Every one of them. Every single one of them.
That's phenomenal.
It's hard for us to convey that to you without it sounding cheesy, but it's just an absolutely awesome plane.
I think they got it.
You think so?
If they didn't, I
want to just keep driving that point home.
Flight time, 5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of flight time. Now, when the first time this thing went up, Kurt flew it the first time, and he was on it. You got on it from the time it took off. You were horsing it. You were rolling it. You were doing loops. You were doing high-speed passes and grinning the whole time. But we had plenty of battery.
Doing knife edges, pseudo knife edges.
Yeah, pseudo knife edges.
Yeah. We did everything with it.
Oh yeah, it flew inverted.
Great.
It flew inverted beautifully. Yeah. Very little pressure, forward pressure on the stick.
And it didn't fall off.
No, not at all.
Like a dihedral usually does. So.
Not at all. You can rudder turn that thing.
What a blast!
Oh,
absolute blast to fly.
It's a lot of fun. It is just a lot of fun.
Great flight times. I mean, you could literally do throttle management on a 3-mile-an-hour windy day and probably get
10 to 15 minutes. I'd say 15 if you're careful.
I'd say 12 very comfortably. If you set your timer on your radio, you get 12 every day. If you got up there and did some soaring, you get your 15.
Which you could do.
Yep.
Because one thing I do want to mention, and we didn't have this on film, and we should have done this. It was when you were flying it the first time. Kurt went on his downwind leg to turn for landing, and he was up higher than he wanted to be, so all you did was put that thing into a sharp turn, and it literally 2 complete loops around to lose altitude, no tendency to tip stall.
Oh, no.
There was no ever a point where the power...
Slipped. I was riding the rudder.
Yeah.
It just held its line,
And it just
slowed and dropped altitude
and lined up, and he landed it.
Yeah.
It's
like a simulator.
It's-
We do that
it's
stuff on the
crazy.
simulator all
It's
the time,
crazy.
and that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
Amazing. Field size. Large park or flying field.
yeah. It's a bigger plane.
You could actually fly this in a park, but it's a bigger plane, which shouldn't be flown in a park.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. Yeah. And the flight characteristics would allow you to, but with that said, don't do it.
You've got
Don't do
perception
it.
issues there. If you see a bigger RC plane, people perceive bigger plane, bigger danger.
Yeah.
When in
Yeah.
fact, we've got 90 plus mile an hour or 120 mile an hour EDFs, little ducted fan jets that are 3/4 of the size,
Yeah.
that would destroy a car windshield, where this thing would probably mostly
Yeah.
bounce off. But
Give yourself some room.
yeah,
You
get
want
into a
the room to
large park
play.
that allows this size park flyer trainer, or go to a field, flying
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
And this does not require a large area to land.
Doesn't
either.
require hard surface either.
No, it does not.
Nope. With 2-inch plus wheels, you can handle some short
Yeah.
grass and just fine. Portability, give it a 5 out of 5 on
Yes.
portability.
The wing comes off real fast compared to some wings.
Truly.
2 screws.
Yep.
You can just turn the thing, lay the wing right beside it, slide it in the back seat of your car.
Yep.
You really could. It's good
And
for that.
finally, skill level beginner.
Definitely, without a doubt.
trainer's
I
trainer.
wish this plane would have been out when I was learning to fly. I really do.
Yep. This is
Yeah.
this is the perfect buddy box plane. This is the perfect learn on your own if you've got
Yeah.
patience
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
It just
There's
it's
too
so
many
simple.
things it does right to just not make it the perfect trainer. There's all the elements are there.
Yeah, they are.
Takeoff, beautiful. Landing, absolutely beautiful. One of the best planes I've ever
The
landed.
flight characteristics are the thing that stick in my head, which is that's the core of any plane. Is the flight characteristics.
Yeah.
Absolutely remarkable flight
It
characteristics.
is. It's just a blast to fly. Forget the trainer part on as far as the experience for us.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to review it for what it is.
Yep.
But you don't even think you're flying a trainer. You're just
'cause it'll
flying
do
a
whatever you want
plane
to.
that feels like an extension of your hands.
It's a trainer, high wing trainer. It flies like T-28 Trojan.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it flies like T-34 Mentor. It flies
Yeah.
like a bunch of different low wing,
Yeah.
trainer types. That it was just fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. And we can't forget to mention the drop hatch. We didn't even talk about the drop hatch.
We got some video to back up the
Yeah,
drop hatch.
the
so
drop
that's right.
hatch is a blast.
Oh my gosh!
It's a blast.
To add it, to take it over the top, it can decimate any competition.
Yeah,
The
definitely
drop
so.
hatch, for us, for our simple minds,
Oh, it's,
there'd
we're
be
talking about
massive-
two guys that can sit and have some pretty heated battles with paper airplanes.
Yeah, so
flinging paper
the
clips at
carnage
each
that would
other.
ensue after a full day at the field with that drop hatch.
Oh.
God knows what we'd be putting in there. I think at the end of the day.
Oh,
so
yeah, you'll
it's actually
see.
good that we stopped the flights when we did, because we
Yeah.
started sticking more and more stuff.
Yeah,
in
we
the
dropped a
drop hatch.
few things. You'll see them on. You saw them on
Yeah,
film.
we dropped
so.
a few things you won't see on film. That wraps up our review of the Flyzone Sensei. Cannot say enough about this.
Not
This
at all.
absolutely personifies the park size or the trainer.
Yes.
The ultimate, because it's the right width, a right wingspan. It's the right lift.
Yep.
It's the right handling.
If you want to listen to all the people out there with opinions as to what the best trainer is, we're telling you, we fly a lot of planes. We've flown a lot of planes.
This literally
This
moved
is
the bar.
it. Oh,
so
by
it's going to
far.
be tough to see anything else come out that's going to beat
It
this.
is, and
this
it's a
class and
good
this size.
size. It's not a little tiny
No.
36-inch wingspan
It's got, you
plane.
can fly it at
It's-
5-mile-an-hour winds. You could probably fly this thing comfortably
Yeah.
in 10-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, you could.
And pull it
Yeah,
off.
It's incredible.
Head to the website, tobefly.com, and take a look at the full review if you didn't get enough out of this. And if you have any questions, there's an Ask To icon in the lower left corner of every screen on our website. Click on that, send us a message, and we'll do our best to get back with you right away with the answer, the right answer to your question. Thanks for watching. I'm Kurt with Two Brothers Hobby.
And I'm Rob.